It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we'll play host to a battle between conferences. It's the Indianapolis Colts and the New York Giants, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
We are situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said, the key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
"22 men ready to do battle. It's time to dance." And off we go from MetLife Stadium. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
From the 41, here's a 2nd and 4. Here's Wilson. Over the middle, taken in by Neighbors. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Now Wilson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Giants first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now it's Wilson. And that's going to be caught downfield by Slayton. Touchdown, Giants! Darius Slayton, 53 yards. And the Giants will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Well, they said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive. He burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
Extra point try good by Gano, and it's now a 7-0 game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his second year in the NFL now.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Bobby Okereke making that tackle.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
First and 10, Taylor now. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And they'll go to the air now with Richardson. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. Now Richardson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. To the right side, this is Taylor. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained. And, in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Here's Richardson to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets them up 1st and goal. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up. Just respond as you just noted.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Well, safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a 3rd down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because 4 for 4 already. I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on 3rd.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Colts are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own.
Defensively, they told us that the top priority was defending option plays this week. But here on the very first drive, the defense broke down a bit.
It certainly did, and it's really not a surprise because defending option football is difficult. You have to think too much. Most of the time, you just react to what you see and you play fast. Here you're reacting, you're processing. Do I have the back? Do I have the quarterback? Who do I take? Do I take on a blocker? And next thing you know, he's in the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told.
And it was Anthony Richardson who took it into the end zone to finish things off.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive.
So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
And they'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27.
Now it's Wilson. That's complete to Slayton. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one. That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Here's Wilson to throw.
He'll get that to his tight end, Theo Johnson.
That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
3rd and 2. Straight ahead, here's Tracy.
And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. A gain of 4 that time as the drive will continue. These two teams all tied after 1. Ready to roll for the second quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wilson. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Wilson. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in.
Well, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Charvarius Ward. Down to the 10, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD.
It just appeared there that the defense, they had that read from the moment the ball was snapped. And not only did they get the interception, add a nice return on top of it, all the way into the end zone for a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, and the guy who made the play, he gets the points. But it really was a group effort, wasn't it? How about the coaches? They've got to be so excited. All the preparation time in the film room, it translated into a big play that put points on the board for their team.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
And New York set to take the field. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Tracy going to get it on first down.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll go again with Tracy.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Wilson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
Now 2nd and 5. On the option to give to Taylor here. And he'll get about 3 up past the 25. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Well, so much for that possession.
Yeah, I think he tried to do a little too much there, partner. He tried to keep it himself. End up getting buried in the backfield, and that brings up fourth down.
On fourth down, the Colts will call on Rigoberto Sanchez for the punt. .45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And now out come the Giants.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues. You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Wilson. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now Wilson. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 3.
Throwing is Wilson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
When you're running the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert, but right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
They'll hand it to Tracy.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Defensively, they rallied the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the 2nd quarter, it has been a struggle. 4th down. Here's Wilson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive to about the 48-yard line. Here's 2nd and 7. Richardson looking to throw this. And he's got Pierce. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And that goes for a gain of 31.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Now it's Richardson.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson. That's complete to his running back, Herbert.
And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another 1st down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Throw out right, pulled in by Downs.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
Taylor.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The ball mere inches from the white line on 3rd and goal.
They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And this one is right through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7.
So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Final play of the half, it's Wilson.
Now this thrown deep for Slayton.
This is caught inside the 15.
And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Colts going to take over on offense to begin this third quarter.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Richardson. Out of his hands quickly to Pittman.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 72 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Yeah, Richardson back to throw it. Throw left side, taken in by Pittman.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Operating from the gun, Richardson.
They're going right back to Pittman. And the Colts are going to be set up with a first and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense could get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a first and goal.
They'll run here with Taylor.
And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Jonathan Taylor, a touchdown machine. He's going to get plenty of looks down here near the goal line, so if I'm on defense, I might start getting prepared to see his number called a couple of more times.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal.
Now Richardson, he's going to keep it running right.
And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a third down.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Could be some contact going on.
Richardson now on third and goal.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
Brian Burns flying in there and dropping him for the sack. Well, we saw him score on the ground earlier in the ball game. This time, the defense says not so fast.
Yeah, that's good scouting and good awareness, isn't it? Because you always have to be wary of him keeping it himself, especially in this part of the field. Because if he doesn't like what he sees, you know he'll take off and try and go for it himself.
And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here. This is a 26-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7.
Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on fourth and goal anyway, but the sack on third down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone. Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
To throw is Wilson.
Now this thrown deep for Slayton.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Wilson. Escapes the sack. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. He's got Slayton on the slant. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Here's Wilson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
Wilson now off the bootleg. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the 1st down.
Tracy trying the right side.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Right back to Tracy.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now it's Wilson. And incomplete here to bring up 4th down as the rookie couldn't haul it in.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
On 4th down, on is Graham Gano for the Giants field goal.
Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good, and that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Colts offense and running back Jonathan Taylor heading back onto the field. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying. But nothing that they have done has worked so far. And connecting here with Pittman on the out route.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now an option play on 2nd down.
Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
From the gun, it's Taylor. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. So it's a quarter that saw these two teams trade field goals here as we've reached the end of 3 quarters of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the 4th.
2nd down, another run with Taylor.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And Taylor, I don't think he got there. No, he did not. Unable to break free, and he's marked short. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on 1st down, but unable to do much from there.
Overall, I'd have to say that was just really good team defense because, to me, you can't pin that one on the running back. He had no shot there. He had a man in his face immediately.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
The Giants offense and Russell Wilson headed back onto the field. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Wilson.
Again, it's Johnson.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
From the 35, here's the 2nd down and 6.
Here's Wilson.
That's complete. It's Neighbors.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Throwing again here, Wilson.
There's a short one caught by Johnson.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Now 2nd and 3. On the give, it's Tracy.
Shoves him away. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Now Wilson. That's complete to Slayton. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 23. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And down inside the 15 he goes. 10 more there and another first down.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
Again, Wilson. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Russell Wilson. A 13-yard touchdown run.
And the Giants have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Gano the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
And the Colts coming out now. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback, because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
2nd and 10. Off the option, here's Taylor. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 93 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Throwing now is Richardson. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Second and 11 now. On the option to give to Taylor here.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Down to a knee goes Richardson, and that should finish off this victory.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one.
What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from East Rutherford.